And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We have a great show for you today. As always, be sure to follow me on Twitter at Takes by Fans and be a part of the conversation. And we got to kind of switch up this intro since we're expanding. We can't just highlight, the website. We've got podcasting apps. We just were submitted on Anchor yesterday, so now we are officially on podcast. So we're not going to plug the website anymore. TakesByFans.com. That's the website. You can watch on Twitch at Takes by Fans. Follow me on Twitter at Takes by Fans. Come watch on podcasting apps. I'm talking Spotify. We're coming soon on Apple Music or on Apple Podcasts, whatever the heck that one is. But however you want to get in contact or find Takes by Fans on any social media, podcast, watching us live, just communicating with us on social media, it's going to be at Takes by Fans. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, podcasting apps. I mean, folks, we are everywhere. And we have our own website, takesbyfans.com. So, folks, however you want to find us, it's going to be at Takes by Fans, wherever you want. So, that's where we are, and we are now just on podcasting apps. So, that's the big announcement. All right. Today is Thursday, so now we, during the NFL season, we on our Thursday shows, we predict and react to the lines for Week 11. We did the groundwork on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, looking back at Week 10, and now we are comfortable finally starting to talk about the next week, Week 11 in the NFL. So we guess and react to the lines today. So we'll be doing that. But first, we have a couple of stories that I do kind of want to talk about really quickly. All right, this was yesterday. The Ravens defensive players placed on the COVID-19 list. And it was it's Jonathan Abram, Malik Collins, Jonathan Hankins, Isaiah Johnson, Arden Key, and Kendall Vickers. Now, this was a little misleading because they just kind of put out this tweet saying that all these players were on the COVID-19 list. But this was because they were on a close contact with who was it? It's they were considered high-risk close contacts because the defensive end Colin Farrell had COVID-19 test positive. So this was a little misleading. It scared me a little bit because these are key defensive pieces. Jonathan Abrams is a great defensive back, great corner, shutdown corner, and Malik Collins is a great defensive tackle. So this worried me a little bit, but then we learned that it was close contact. So as long as all these players' COVID tests come back negative, all these players are going to be good to go this week. So a little misleading. They should have put this on the tweet that, this was just because of close contact. But yeah, if you saw this, a lot of Raiders players being placed on the COVID-19 list, it's because they were close contact. So they don't have it. And if all their tests come back negative, they're going to be good to go on Sunday against the Chiefs, folks. This is a rivalry game, a division game, Raiders-Chiefs. We saw what happened the first time they met this season. Raiders won, surprisingly, in Kansas City. So, this would have been a huge shot to the Raiders if all these defensive players were not able to play, but they should be able to go on Sunday. Alrighty, and this is just so funny to me. Folks, this is like the huge difference between NBA and NFL. Like, trash players get paid big, and you get a lot for them. So the Sixers traded Al Horford, a first and second round pick, to the Thunder for Danny Green. Yes, the Danny Green that was in the NBA Finals with the Lakers this season. The Danny Green that missed a wide-open three-point shot to win, I think it was Game 5, that would have secured a 4-win Finals win for the Lakers. But, Danny Green misses that shot, and LeBron has to go an extra game. So that's the Danny Green that they got Al Horford and 2 picks for. So that's just kind of the huge difference between NBA and NFL. We're talking trash Danny Green. That's like if Mitch Trubisky or Nick Foles went to the Bucks or something for Mike Evans and Leonard Fournette and then a first round pick. It just makes no sense. So Danny Green, congratulations, you scammed another team. I don't know how you did it, but I commend you. If I could do it, I would, but I can't. So he's obviously doing better than me. So that's Danny Green, and now he is on the Sixers. So he's the Sixers problems now. All right, and then obviously the worst news. We've all heard this, folks. Klay Thompson injured in practice yesterday, a lower right leg injury. Not good. His first ACL tear that kept him out of last season was on his left knee, so we're talking on his right lower leg. Everybody's fearing it's going to be his ACL again, and man, the Splash Brothers dynasty, it's unfortunately over. Dynasties end a little bit sooner than we want them to. I mean, folks, that was probably the most fun I think I've ever had watching basketball, is when Steph Curry and Klay Thompson were at their peak. That freaking reign when they were going to finals back to back to back to back, when they were battling LeBron every single year for that kind of 3-4 year stretch. I mean, folks, that was probably the best time of basketball, in my opinion. And now Klay Thompson, he missed last season, so we didn't get any Splash Brothers last season, and now we're not going to get it this season either, because this is not looking good, folks. Like, this is most likely a season-ending injury for Klay Thompson. We're hoping it's not, obviously. Knock on wood. What do we have to knock on? I'll cut my own leg off if I have to watch this man play basketball for one more time. I really would, because it's just so entertaining. It's him and Steph, man. They really revolutionized the game, and to see this man's career possibly end like this, it sucks, man, because it just sucks that Warriors dynasty was so entertaining, so fun to watch. They've got the rings. It's going to be fun to talk about and reminisce, 15 years down the line. Man, remember Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, the Splash Brothers? They revolutionized the game. I mean, they were hitting threes from 40 feet deep consistently to win NBA titles, going against the King multiple times. So this is really the bummer, folks. Like, who cares about the NBA draft? We care about LaMelo Ball? No. We're all focusing on Klay Thompson. We hope it's nothing serious. We'll probably learn more today as it progresses, but this broke a little bit later during the night yesterday, right before the NBA draft, and we're hoping it's nothing serious, man. We need to see Steph and Klay back in the league, man. We do. We need it. All right, one more story, and this is the funniest one. Adam Gase says Jets aren't trying to tank. Quote, nobody has talked about that. No, did anybody think you were tanking? We know you're just trash. This is how you actually play. Nobody's like taking their foot off the pedal. They're just trash. They're 0-9 trash, 0-8 trash. They're not trying to tank. Nobody thought the Jets were tanking. Nobody was like, oh, they're not winning games because they're trying not to win games. They just can't win games. So this is just truly funny. Adam Gase saying that they're not trying to tank. They're just this awful, folks. So they probably should have said, no, we're actually tanking. Yeah, no, this was all planned, folks. We planned to be this bad. So Jets are not tanking, and they're very bad. So that's what we got. Adam Gase is a true clown, folks. He needs to be fired. And barred from head coaching. Maybe an assistant somewhere, but he cannot be a head coach. Alrighty, those are all the stories that I just wanted to kind of clear up before we get into our main topic today, which is the line predictions and reactions, and just talking about our first kind of talk about Week 11. So here it is. We're going to get right on into it, and we'll start here on the Thursday night football game, Cardinals and Seahawks, and this is a huge game for Russell Wilson. This is also a huge game for the Cardinals division game, both 6-3, trying to get that number one spot in the NFC West. So, and we saw what happened on their first meeting. Seahawks in Arizona, Russell Wilson, 3 interceptions, but they still only lost by 3 points in overtime with a minute left. So, with all that being said, Russell Wilson is going to have to clean up these interceptions, because we've seen it the last 2 weeks, and it sucks, man. They cannot win when he's turning the ball over multiple times. He also needs to start throwing touchdowns. He threw no touchdowns last week. Absolutely insane. So, but here it is. Little regroup a little bit. Shorter week. Definitely going to hurt him a little bit. And but the Seahawks are at home, probably the best green flag for the Seahawks. Now the Cardinals, coming off a huge emotional win, short week, maybe take a little bit of a step back. We'll see what the official line is. We may get some good value here, but the Seahawks, I mean, it all falls on Russell Wilson. I mean, folks, the first, what do we got? The first 7 weeks, he was looking flawless, like MVP candidate. Then the last 2-3 weeks, he's starting to turn over the ball a little bit. That's where the losses come in. So I expect Russell Wilson to turn it around, but I expected him to turn it around last week, and he didn't. I don't know. This line's going to be real hard to judge. If we can get some good value, if Vegas is going to overvalue the Cardinals off that huge win against the Bills, last second Hail Mary attempt, and maybe undervalue the Seahawks because, Russell Wilson has been turning the ball over, then we may be able to get some good value. I probably don't see it that way. This is probably going to be Seahawks -2. You get a -3 for the home field, but the way that Russell Wilson has been playing these last couple weeks, we can't really trust him. So we probably get Seahawks -2, which isn't bad value. I mean, Russell Wilson, you really expect him to be good every week. So the weeks that he's not, it's kind of weird, and you don't expect it to happen again. So we'll see what the official line is. We want to trust Russell Wilson again. We may stay away from this game just because, Russell Wilson, these past couple weeks, he hasn't been consistent. So he's on the trash list. That's not, something that I would, do because of a one-time performance. This is week to week, multiple interceptions. So if Russell Wilson cleans it up, the Seahawks win. If they don't, they lose. It's going to be that simple, folks. Russell Wilson is the lifeblood. He's the only thing that matters on the Seahawks offense. They've got the weapons at receiver. The running backs are fine. Even if Chris Carson doesn't play, that Dallas running back, he's pretty good. This is what the Seahawks do. They got running back by committee and that next man up mentality for running backs. I mean, they've been having running back issues for the past 2-3 years, and it's always kind of that backup running back, takes that place. I mean, Chris Carson was just kind of the backup, a few years ago, and he kind of worked his way up, that next man mentality, and now we get, this Dallas running back, and I think he's good. So even if Chris Carson doesn't play, I don't even think that would be a huge kind of knock on the Seahawks. Now, the Cardinals are great. Their offense is obviously very good. Kyler Murray's very good. But, we saw what happened, in their first meeting. Very close game with Russell Wilson still throwing 3 interceptions, and the Cardinals only won by 3 points. So it was still close with Russell Wilson throwing multiple interceptions. So even if he's continuing to throw these interceptions today, which I really hope he doesn't, the Seahawks still, at home, the 3-point difference, that really was the game. So I expect this game to be very close. Division game. We saw what happened in their first meeting. If Russell Wilson can clean it up, the Seahawks have no problem. This Cardinals defense was decent last week. A little bit of bend but don't break. They did break a little bit in that fourth quarter, letting Josh Allen score with about 35 seconds left. But they forced 2 turnovers in the second half, which was absolutely fantastic. So this Cardinals defense is slowly coming into their own, trying to kind of match the intensity that the offense plays with, because that offense is really explosive. DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray can make it work. So this is going to be real interesting. We're going to call it Seahawks -2. We'll see what the official line is before we give our official moneymaker picks. Let's see if we get some good value. This is going to be a great game to watch. Russell on primetime television. Hopefully he doesn't let us down again for 3 weeks straight. So we'll see what the Seahawks. I'm rooting for the Seahawks. I'll come out and say it. I'm rooting for the Seahawks. I'm rooting for Russell Wilson to be good. Kind of maybe another kind of green flag for taking the Seahawks today would be that the Cardinals, they were almost coming off of 2 straight losses, which would have been like a huge kind of momentum for the Cardinals coming into this game, being like, oh my God, we just lost 2 straight games. We cannot lose 3 straight. So with the Cardinals winning the game that they probably shouldn't have won last week, it may be, hurting the Cardinals, especially on that kind of high emotional win coming off a short week. We all, folks, literally, I'll see that DeAndre Hopkins kind of Hail Mary at least like 3 times on my Twitter feed every single day up until right now. So the Cardinals may be kind of a little bit of a hangover on their huge win. But we'll call this one Seahawks -2 and see what the official line is. But that's the Thursday Night Football game today. It's going to be great. This is probably going to be one of the best Thursday Night Football games of the season, to be honest. Cardinals Seahawks for the NFC West. Cannot wait. I am rooting for Russell Wilson. Come on, Russell. We got to get back on track. I mean, this man was an MVP candidate for the first probably, 8 weeks. He's really lost it the last couple weeks. Alrighty, so that's Thursday Night Football. Now let's start talking about all the games on Sunday, and we're going to start here at Titans and Ravens. In this Ravens team, folks, I mean, the offense just isn't as kind of, vertical as it, was last season. The big plays are not there. So this offensive coordinator for the Ravens really has to, start doing something, because Lamar Jackson, this offense is just not working. They can't put up any points. They're not, they're barely putting up 20 points when they even start to score. So I don't know how I feel about the Ravens with this Titans team. Yes, they came off a loss, and now they finally had, a full week. They're playing on Sunday. No more Thursday night games. This Titans team should be good to go. Their defense is good. Ryan Tannehill is always consistent. Derrick Henry is still doing what they're doing. And this Titans team was still good. I mean, on Thursday Night Football against the Colts last week, it was just their special teams really beefed it midway third quarter, and that's when the Colts were able to take advantage of the short field. So it was the Titans defense didn't lose them the game last week. The Titans offense didn't lose them the game last week. The Titans offense actually were beating the Colts offense up until the special teams blunder. So we could get some good value on the Titans here. Ravens can't score. Yes, the Ravens defense is good, but this Titans team, they know how to scheme good plays. They know how to get you distracted. They run the ball with Derrick Henry, the play action, the rollout of Ryan Tannehill combined with Derrick Henry just going up the middle. I mean, folks, it's hard. And plus they have deep threats with A.J. Brown, and Ryan Tannehill can deliver that deep ball pretty accurately. So I like the Titans here. We could get some good value. We're gonna say this is going to be Ravens -3. I mean, that's really how I see it. If we can get Titans +3, give me the points with the Titans, folks. I cannot trust this Ravens offense. Yes, Lamar Jackson is good. Nobody's denying that, but what their play calling is just so short. It's all dink and dunk. It's all at the line of scrimmage. They don't kind of stretch you deep. They don't stretch you vertical. They don't test you down the field. So until they start doing that, we can't really buy into this Ravens offense. Even though Lamar Jackson's good, we can't buy into it. So we're going to call this one Ravens -3. See what the official line is, and go from there. All right, that brings us to Lions and Panthers. And so far, Christian McCaffrey, it's still up in the air. Pretty much probably not going to go. My philosophy is whatever I hear first, that's pretty much solid fact. And then everything that comes after that is just, oh, you shouldn't have said that. We have to start walking it back. It happened with Anthony Davis. This is my favorite example to point out. As soon as, the kind of Anthony Davis, before he joined the Lakers and he was kind of, where do you want to go? Where do you want to play? His first answer was, I'm going to the Lakers. Not, I'm thinking about going to the Lakers. I'm going to the Lakers. And then Vegas got involved. They're like, hey, we're taking action on where you're going. You can't just come out and say that. So literally we had months of, Anthony Davis changed his mind 180. He's not going to the Lakers. He's actually going here or here, or he's staying where he is. So, I mean, we all knew Anthony Davis was going to the Lakers, as soon as he said that, because the writing was on the wall. And then we had, it coming from his own mouth. And then that's when the walk back starts after that. So we kind of get the same here with, Christian McCaffrey. It came out that, he was not going to play this week. And then, kind of Tuesday, Wednesday, oh no, he may be able to play. The walk back start. So I don't think Christian McCaffrey is going to play this week. I'm kind of judging the line in my bets on that Christian McCaffrey does not play. But I do think Teddy Bridgewater plays, which is, fine. He's a good solid quarterback, and he's been, productive with the Panthers here. They get the Lions. The Lions are not consistent. They're not good. They barely beat Washington and once again almost gave up a lead in the second half. That's what we know of the Lions. They're good in the first half, not good in the second half. Luckily for the Lions, they were able to get the ball last, and they kick a 59-yard game-winning field goal for the win. So we can't trust the Lions here, and I like this Panthers offense even without Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey definitely, is the icing on the cake, but they still got the cake. So, that's what we want. We want the cake. Yeah, the icing is nice, but as long as you've got the cake, you're going to make people happy. So I do like this Panthers offense. No Christian McCaffrey this week, but Teddy Bridgewater is going to be good to go. Cannot trust this Lions offense or defense or coaching staff. We just saw kind of Matt Stafford was a little injured with his thumb, maybe affecting a little bit. Probably can't go as deep as maybe he can. So I think I like the Panthers here. We're going to call this one Panthers -4. I just can't trust this Lions team. Yes, all their wins pretty much come on the road, so that's probably a green flag for the Lions, but I can't trust Matt Patricia on the road. Panthers, I mean, they lost 5 straight games, folks. That's not good. I mean, this was a 3-2 team at one point, looking promising, waiting for Christian McCaffrey to get back so they can start winning more games. Unfortunately, he's one and done, and they didn't even win the game that he was in. But they were very competitive in that game. Panthers coming off a loss last week without Christian McCaffrey. They were facing the Bucks, and they kind of held it in the first half a little bit because the defense was forcing turnovers, and they were capitalizing on short fields. But, they kind of floundered in the second half, and I thought the Panthers would kind of, take that kind of gut punch. Oh, my God, we just lost Christian McCaffrey after getting him back. So, kind of have a full week without Christian McCaffrey again. They're going to get the offense back on track. I do like Matt Rule. I am buying into Matt Rule, so I like the Panthers here, -4. I probably stay away from the game if it's Panthers -4. But if we get any, good value, if, Panthers -1, Panthers -2, that may be good to take. Alrighty, let's continue on here. We got Eagles and Browns, and two trash quarterbacks going at it. Okay, like I don't know. Don't get too bogged down to what the Browns did last week. It was a monsoon; they couldn't pass. Deshaun Watson couldn't even pass. So if Deshaun Watson can't make passes down the field, Baker Mayfield's definitely not going to be able to. It was a 10-7 game. Browns squeaking out the win. So the Browns defense is definitely good. Baker Mayfield, Kevin Stefanski is doing, a decent job with the play calling, not allowing him to do too much. We saw the Browns running backs. I mean, look what they did last week, folks. When you get Nick Chubb back and you have to worry about the power of Nick Chubb and the speed and the elusiveness of Kareem Hunt as well, it's going to give this Eagles team trouble. I am going to go big on the Browns this week. I think this Eagles team is not good. Carson Wentz is not good. This Browns defense is good. They should be able to check the Eagles offense, and we saw what the Eagles did last week. They couldn't even move the ball against the Giants, and I'm not saying the Giants are a bad team. They're an all right team. They're a 3-win team. Unfortunately, I think they are probably the best 3-win team there is. But the Giants were moving the ball all over him. Daniel Jones, Baker Mayfield. I would say Daniel Jones is probably the better passer. Maybe Baker Mayfield is a little bit more better on his legs than Daniel Jones, but probably not. We saw Daniel Jones run the read option. So, yeah, probably the quarterback play maybe takes a little bit of a dip from the Giants to the Browns, but I mean, this Browns running game, I expect the Browns running game to continue to succeed. Kevin Stefanski not allowing Baker Mayfield to throw the ball 30-plus times. Probably get it in that nice sweet spot, 22 to 25 passes for Baker Mayfield. Complete about, 60%, and we're looking good if the run game is still effective. So I do like the Browns here. If Vegas is still going to be big on the Eagles, I mean, folks, last week the Giants were at home and got plus 3.5, and it climbed all the way up to plus 4 right before the closing, right before kickoff. So, I mean, who knows what Vegas is going to do here with the Browns. We probably don't get great value because the Browns have 6 wins, but I'll swallow Browns -3 all day. I'm going to call this one big because I honestly think it should be this big, probably Browns -5. And at that point, we probably don't take it because I don't see any great value in that, because games usually are decided by 7 or less points. And I'm not going to trust Carson Wentz with any points. Unfortunately, I can't trust the man. But I do like this Browns offense. Kevin Stefanski is doing a wonderful job containing Baker Mayfield and finding other ways to win the game, and just letting Baker Mayfield be a game manager, because that's what he is. He's a game managing quarterback, which there's nothing wrong with. We see Ryan Tannehill. He's a little bit above average game manager, just a little bit, but I mean, Ryan Tannehill, he's having success. He just went to the AFC Championship game last year, so Baker can definitely do that with the talent he's got. Absolutely. I like the Browns this week. Browns -5 is going to be our official prediction. Hopefully it's not that large though. Hopefully. Alrighty, then we got Patriots and Texans, and I mean, are we supposed to be impressed that Cam Newton beat Lamar Jackson at home in a monsoon? Are we supposed to be impressed by that with the Bill Belichick defense? Not so quite. So I'm not buying this Patriots team just quite yet. This Texans team, yes, they only scored 7 points last week, but once again, it was the monsoon. So we got 2 monsoon because it started in the Browns game, and then, by 8 o'clock when the Patriots faced, on our Sunday Night Football, the monsoon has worked its way from Cleveland to, where the Patriots play. So it did travel. Both these teams were affected by the monsoon. They're in Texas in a dome this week, so no worries about the weather. Expect Deshaun Watson to really try to get back on track here. Cam Newton, he should be a better passer because he doesn't have to worry about the elements. The one thing that is going to give me a little bit of concerns, because I think I do like the Texans, is the Patriots defense. I mean, the Texans, they throw the ball, and Bill Belichick is not going to allow you to throw the ball all over him. So something is going to have to give. We may be able to get some good value with the Texans here because they only have 2 wins. It's going to be close. Patriots may be overvalued this week because they just beat the Ravens. I'm not even taking that as a real win. It was a monsoon. You're at home. Great. Lamar Jackson, I mean, he can't even throw deep, so now it's even more prevalent because he can't throw deep because of the monsoon. I think I like the Texans this week. I expect the line to probably be Patriots. I'm going to go Patriots -1. And at that point, we could get some good value with the Texans at home. Deshaun Watson coming off, not being able to pass last week, so he's probably going to want to air it out even more this week. Yes, the Patriots defense may be able to clamp up, but these Texans have great receivers. So do the Patriots have 4 great corners? I don't think they do. The Texans have 4 great wide receivers, so I don't think they can cover all the greatness that the Texans have. We'll see how it is. But the Texans in a dome, going to be looking good. We'll officially predicted at Patriots -1. Alrighty, Packers and Colts, and ooh boy, Aaron Rodgers in a dome on the road, folks. Do not overbuy this Colts team. Yes, they're good against kind of the mediocre to bottom teams, but they're not going to be good against this Packers team. We saw Phillip Rivers. He wasn't the reason kind of why they won last week. I'm telling y'all, it was the special teams of the Titans just giving the ball away. The Colts were losing to the Titans midway third quarter until the special teams blunders happened. Aaron Rodgers has been looking good these past couple weeks. I love the adversity win that they just won last week against the Jags. Don't bog that down. Actually, that's a plus for the Packers, learning to win in adverse situations. They haven't faced that all season, or they haven't won facing that all season, so that's great that they got a good win, close win. And now they go against the Colts. We could get some great value here. The Colts are 6-3. I'm hoping they overvalue the Colts here. I'm going to predict this one at Colts -2. I don't believe this line, but that's what I believe the line is going to be put at. I would put this one at probably Packers -2, Packers -3. I'm going to take the points because I think Vegas is going to give the Packers points here at least 2, maybe even 3. They could go Colts -3 here just because home field advantage is 3. They may say both these teams are similar, and I would love it. Aaron Rodgers is going to love to kind of pick apart this Colts defense. He's gonna be able to. He's going to go on the road. This is a kind of a must-win game for the Packers. There's only one bye week up for grabs in each division. The Packers 7-2. They're going to go chasing for it. They want that's kind of why they lost last year. I think they were on the road against the 49ers. If they're at home, maybe a little bit of a different game. So Packers are going to be looking for that number 1 spot, and they have to kind of keep winning out. 3 losses is probably going to be max for that kind of number 1 spot in the NFC. So I'm going to like the Packers here, and we could get some great value. I cannot trust Phillip Rivers. He did not impress me last week on national television. He just didn't. The run really helped open up the pass, and he was working with short fields all the time. I mean, folks, I can go out and score touchdowns off of, short fields, getting the ball at, the opponent's 30, at the opponent's 25. I can go down and, drive 25 yards. Absolutely. So I cannot trust Phillip Rivers. I do like the Colts defense. I'll give them that. But I mean, they were letting, Ryan Tannehill kind of throw all over him a little bit in that first, until the blunders happen, the special teams blunders. So I'm going to trust Aaron Rodgers here, and we could get some great value here. If Packers are getting any points at all, I think we hammer it, and we hammer it big. Cannot trust Phillip Rivers back-to-back games. Cannot trust Phillip Rivers on a game-by-game basis, let alone back-to-back games. Alrighty, Steelers, Jags, and I know we're not going to get any good value here, so we probably just going to have to stay away from this game altogether. Jake Luton versus the Steelers defense? Come on. We got to go Steelers. I'll call it right now. I'm going to go Steelers -13.5. We saw what Big Ben did last week. He's like, damn, hang on, I still got it? Shit, I've been dinking and dunking. I didn't even think I had it anymore, but I went down and threw 300 yards, 4 touchdowns last week. Maybe I still got it. Maybe. Oh, and we got the Jags this week? I'm going to be firing downfield all game, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. When we're up 21, fourth quarter, we're going to go up 35. So this Jags team, Jake Luton, has not done anything these last 2 weeks. Why is it going to change against the best defense in the league? It's not, unfortunately. Yes, they were a little close against the Green Bay Packers last week, but can we take a look at what happened? I mean, special teams for the Jags, a lot of muff punts in that game. I think Aaron Rodgers turned the ball over once. I mean, folks, even if Jake Luton's working with short fields because of blunders by the Steelers, they're only going to cash in field goals if the Steelers defense doesn't pick off Jake Luton every single pass attempt. So I absolutely love the Steelers here. We're going to get no value here, folks. You cannot take this game. It's going to be unfortunate. Truly is going to be unfortunate. It's going to be high. Maybe, I mean, if you want to take the Jags plus 13.5 like you did last week and it kind of hit, you may be doing it again. But we cannot take Steelers minus 13.5. There is going to be no value in this game. The number one defense against a rookie quarterback in his third start. Do not get bogged down by the Jags score last week, folks. It was a lot of kind of special teams interference. Let me see if I can bring up this game real quick. If I can't find it real quick, we'll move on. But I know, I think they were working with short fields on every single possession. Let's look at this. Their first drive, they started on their own 38-yard line. They went 29 yards for a field goal. Is that impressive? Not really. Their next scoring drive, let's see it. It was a punt return for a touchdown. So once again, just kind of the special teams blunders of the Packers and the special teams excellence of the Jags. And then we get, what else do we get here? What else do we get by the Jags? Their next scoring drive or their next scoring play, they started on Green Bay 16 because of a fumble, and then they went 26 yards for a touchdown. Is that impressive? I mean, folks, and then their last score was a field goal because they started on their own 44-yard line coming off of an interception. So they only were scoring, the Jags were only scoring off of turnovers or special teams, and that's not going to be impressive to me. So we cannot buy Jake Luton. He wasn't moving the ball on his own. When he had to go the entire distance of the field, he can't get it done. We know quarterbacks who are like that, and we cannot trust the Jags this week. The Steelers defense is going to come in and lock it down. They just came off of a great performance against Joe Burrow. They held him to 10 points. Absolutely fantastic. And Big Ben was a monster last game, and there's nothing good about this Jags team. It's unfortunate. Maybe Chark Jr., their wide receiver, is probably the only good thing about this Jags team. They are 1-8, probably second worst team in the league, probably Jets worst, Jaguars second worst. Not looking good for them. And then they have to come in and face Big Ben and the best team in the league. So we're going to call this one Steelers minus 13.5. There's going to be no value. We're going to have to stay away from it. I don't trust Jake Luton with 20 points. I don't trust him with 50 points, unfortunately. And the Steelers team, I love it. I love it. I love it. But I never take any games that are high like this. I'm not going to swallow 13.5 if I don't have to, and I don't have to. Nobody's, forcing me to bet this game or take this game or even put it in my picks or even talk about it. We're just talking about it voluntarily because we do like the Steelers. Alrighty, let's move on. So we'll predict that one at Steelers minus 13.5. That brings us to Falcons and Saints, and this is going to be a good game too. I mean, I wanted to buy Jameis Winston. I think he's a good quarterback. I mean, when you put up 30 touchdowns in a season, you're pretty good. Yes, he put up 30 interceptions. We get it. And then when we looked at the film study last week, Jameis Winston was looking so bad in the red zone when he wasn't just dinking and dunking to Alvin Kamara. This man was inaccurate, not maybe a little bit of miscommunication with the receivers, inaccurate, kind of playing a little afraid, if you ask me, like he couldn't throw the interception. He knew if he threw the interception, he would have been gone. That's kind of how he was playing. So I want to give Jameis Winston some credit here. I do. He's going to have a full week with the ones here for the Saints. That's going to be huge for him. Kind of a full game start, not having to start, midway in the game, coming out of halftime and then starting. So he's going to have to kind of come out here and put up all the points himself. Yes, he's going to dump it off to Alvin Kamara most of the time. They're probably not going to trust him with the downfield ball. He may play a little conservative. He knows he's fighting for another contract. I mean, when he was playing with Tampa Bay, he still had a year left on his deal, and he's like, hey, I'm still going to sling it. Why not? I mean, I'm playing with free money right now. I'm getting paid. I got, safety for next year. But now he's like, fuck, man, I'm kind of second string here with the Saints. I'm not a starter anymore. Now I'm gonna have to kind of prove myself, and I know if I turn the ball over, nobody's gonna kind of give me that another contract. I may not even get a backup quarterback job again. So he's gonna be playing a little bit kind of conservative. We saw it last week. We hope it doesn't bleed over to this week. Now the Falcons are coming off of a bye. That's huge for them. And the Falcons' offense is good. I love this offense. Matt Ryan's got it down. Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, fantastic. not Devontae Freeman. Todd Gurley is doing very well. We saw he was kind of the fourth leading rusher going into Week 10. Haven't really seen the updated, but they were on a bye any week, so he's probably not, the fifth leading back anymore. For fourth or fifth, either one of those. Can't quite remember. But yeah, he's probably not that anymore because they're on a bye. But he was up there going into Week 10 solid weeks and being, number 5 rusher in the league. That's pretty good. So I do like this Falcons offense. Let's see if we get any value here with the Falcons. We may not. Jameis Winston's going to be starting at quarterback. We'll see what the official line is and, pick value from that. I don't know what to call this. I think we call this one Saints -2. It's just Jameis Winston. When we watched him, he was looking real bad, folks. Like real bad, real bad. If I didn't know Jameis Winston, from Tampa Bay, I'd be like, oh, they have no shot of winning. Honestly, from just that film, if I had no recollection of Jameis Winston, I would go probably Falcons -7 in this game. But I do know what Jameis Winston is capable of. And I mean, look at these receivers of the Saints. I mean, Mike Evans, comparable to Michael Thomas. I mean, Jameis Winston was throwing to Mike Evans. And now he's got, Emmanuel Sanders and Alvin Kamara. So the checkdowns were great. He was, pinpoint on the, the very short throw. So I will give him that. But, I mean, against this Falcons team, who had the entire week to prepare, looking at, Jameis Winston film, looking at Saints film. So if we get, Falcons plus some points here, that could be some good value. We'll officially predict this one at Saints -2 and go from there. But I do like this Falcons offense, folks. I really do. I'm a big fan of it. Falcons offense, Giants offense, I'm kind of fans of. Texans offense, I'm fans of. Even though they've only got 9 wins combined out of those 3 teams. Alrighty, here we go. Bengals in Washington, and here we go. A great game to watch, right? 2 win teams looking good. Washington coming off of a huge heartbreak last week. Got down early, but then kind of clawed their way back, got the lead, and then ended up losing last second. Bengals getting absolutely shut out and shellacked by the Steelers. Pretty much game was over by the third quarter. Big Ben was doing his thing, and Joe Burrow, I mean, he was slinging it, but they put up no points. Unfortunate. So we get Alex Smith versus Joe Burrow here. I expect the Bengals to kind of have a little bit more success offensively here this week. We are probably going to stay away from this game just because we can't even trust Alex Smith. I mean, we've been watching Washington these last 2 weeks. Alex Smith's first game where he had to kind of go in mid-game, 3 interceptions. And then we saw him last week really kind of struggle to get anything going early in that Lions game. Luckily, they were able to kind of click second half, but is that reliable? No. Now this Bengals team, they do put up points and they do throw the ball a lot. Is that going to hurt Washington? Probably. We saw what Matthew Stafford did. So Joe Burrow can do what Matt Stafford did against Washington last week and put up 30 points and a ton of yards. And so I expect the Bengals to be a little bit competitive here. They're good against the bad teams, and Washington is a bad team. We know the Bengals are not competitive in division games, getting blown out by the Ravens and blown out by the Steelers last week. We're going to call this, I don't even know what to call this one, folks. This is just trash on trash. Washington -3 for home field. Who's the better team? Are the Bengals even better? I don't even know. So I don't even think so. So we'll go Washington -3, the classic. Just for home field, you get 3 for that. So we'll call this one Washington -3. You stay away from this game. You stay away from it. Trash on trash. Do not bet trash. Do not bet trash on trash. All right, so we stay away from that game. Unless we get some great value like Bengals +10, which I don't see happening. Alrighty, then we go to Cowboys and Vikings, and this is it. Mike McCarthy, this is it. Coming off of a bye. Andy Dalton is back. He's good to go. Vikings coming off of a short week. What else is there? What else is there to do? Cowboys, you need to go out and win this game. Mike McCarthy, you need to go out and win this game just for your own sake, so you don't get fired, because I think you should have been fired by now. But if you lose this game, you 100% should be fired. Coming off of a bye, Andy Dalton's good to go. No more Ben DiNucci. No more other guy. No more AAF quarterbacks. No more XFL MYT quarterbacks I've never heard of. No leagues I've never heard of before in my life. Quarterbacks that were good in those leagues that are now starting quarterbacks in the NFL. No more of that. You get Andy Dalton, tried, trusted veteran who is constant 8-8. He can get it done. He can get you to the playoffs. He can't win the game, but he can get you to the playoffs. He can get you to a winning record, 9-7, 8-8. Proven quarterback who can win games. All right, and you're coming off of a bye, so huge game for the Cowboys here. Vikings coming off of a short week, just facing the Bears on Monday night. They won the game, very well done. And, they were kind of still sticking with that game plan. So Mike Zimmer's like, hey, we cannot trust Kirk Cousins. Even though Kirk Cousins did throw it 30 times last week, it was more set up by the run. They were still running the ball a lot. Dalvin Cook still had 30 rushes, so it was just There was more opportunities. The run game wasn't as effective, not 200 yards. It was about 100 yards. So they did need to have Kirk Cousins step it up just a little bit more than he has been doing the past 3 weeks. So that is a little promising, getting Kirk Cousins into some good rhythm because he was good last year. Kirk Cousins was pretty good. I think he threw for 5,000 yards last year, which is absolutely fantastic. Big drop off this year for Kirk Cousins. Obviously, they're 4-5. But huge game for both these teams. Vikings at home. Cowboys off a bye, and this is where we could get some great value, folks. I'm going to call this one Vikings minus 4.5. And this is going to be great because then we get Cowboys plus 4.5, and I hammer that big. I mean, Mike McCarthy said it earlier this week. He felt like this is kind of a new kind of pep in the step offense for the Cowboys. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping they finally figured out their problems because the Cowboys should not be as bad as they were. The defense has been kind of buckling up probably that kind of 2 weeks before the bye, so now they get the bye. Mike McCarthy, I'm gonna bet on him this week, even though he's trash. I'm gonna, this is a must-win game for the Cowboys. I mean, truthfully, folks, this is a must-win game. The division is still up for grabs. Cowboys are 2-7, looking for that third win to still be competitive in this division. I mean, isn't that kind of crazy to say 3 wins is competitive in a division? But this Cowboys team should be good. Andy Dalton had the bye, had kind of weeks to just prepare mentally, just learning the playbook even more. I expect the Cowboys to come out firing here. The defense shuts down the Vikings run attack, and if we get some points with the Cowboys here, it could be some great value. So we'll officially predict this one at Vikings minus 4 and go from there. All right, a couple more games left, and then we look at the official line. So let's keep on going, and we get Chiefs and Raiders, and we saw what happened, their first meeting. Raiders win. They were explosive. They had some great plays in that second quarter. Remember, we did do a film study on it, and, Derek Carr, 3-play drives just going down, big plays that gashed the Chiefs' defense. So the Raiders win their first meeting. The Chiefs are off of a bye. That's going to be huge for them. Absolutely. Andy Reid off of a bye. Probably one of the safest bets you can make. Bill Belichick off of a bye. I just blanked on the name. Kansas City Chiefs coach Andy Reid off of a bye. Very, very good, very solid, safe bets. But this Raiders team is very good, and they've been kind of showing. I mean, John Gruden's doing a decent job. He only needed. I mean, we kind of we're clowning this man for trying to, last season where they weren't looking so good. But folks, I mean, you need more than one season to get a team going, to kind of have the team operate and kind of get all the players, all your pieces that you want into place, playing how you want to play. So we really shouldn't have clowned that man for a 1-year failure. He's looking good here, 6-3. They just beat the Chiefs, looking good, looking competitive. The offense is winning multiple ways. Derek Carr scored no touchdowns last week, and they still put up 30-plus points. The running game was absolutely fantastic for the Raiders, and we saw what the Raiders did against the Chiefs. I mean, Derek Carr was slinging it. So we get the Raiders here. Division game going to be hugely close. This is the Sunday night game. I don't know about this game, man. This Chiefs team off of a bye, they're deadly on prime time. They're going to want to very show out. They're going to want to prove Patrick Mahomes for another MVP case on Sunday night, because really this is this is Patrick Mahomes' MVP to really lose. We can't put Russell Wilson in that conversation anymore for those multiple turnovers. And Aaron Rodgers is probably number 2 for MVP, and Patrick Mahomes has been playing better than him. So this is going to be a close game. We're probably not going to get any great value with the spreads here. We're going to call this one Raiders minus. Do we go -1? We're going to go Raiders -1 here. Raiders -1. The Chiefs coming off of a bye, folks. I mean, that's going to be the main story. They had so much time to prepare. The Raiders, I mean, they were kind of on a bye last week as well. I mean, is Denver even a good team? Drew Lock just threw 4 interceptions, so not good. This Raiders offense, they can win multiple ways, which I definitely think is going to help them. They're at home, which is definitely great for them. But it's Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, man, off of a bye. It's going to be good. So we'll predict this one at Raiders -1. See if we get some good value. See if the Vegas is going to overvalue the Chiefs. Like if we get Chiefs -4 and we can get Raiders +4, we may take that. I don't see it happening that way, but hey, we can dream, right? All right, 3 more games left. Dolphins and Broncos. And I mean, folks. Drew Lock against this Dolphins defense. Talk about 8 interceptions. Am I right? The one knock against the Dolphins this week is that they have to go up to Mile High. Maybe, you know, a lot of teams struggle playing up there because of the altitude. But teams usually struggle earlier in the season. A lot more conditioning. We're 11 weeks into the season, so I don't think the altitude is going to be too much of a factor. Drew Lock has been just absolutely garbage these last 3 weeks. Not good. Does he clean it up this game? I mean, this Dolphins defense, I mean, it's the second best defense in the league, in my opinion. Steelers 1, Dolphins 2. Maybe third. Maybe I put Rams. No. I'm gonna stick with Dolphins 2, Rams 3. I'll keep the Rams defense at number 3. But yeah, 2 is looking good. Mile High may hurt him a little bit, but I mean, we can't trust Drew Lock. I mean, if we're just talking straight offense versus defense, Broncos offense versus Dolphins defense, I don't know if Drew Lock can score. I mean, we just saw what he did. Yeah, it was on the road against the Raiders last week. 4 interception every quarter. This Dolphins defense, they're scoring defensively. We've scored defensively like 3 out of the last 4 weeks. We almost scored on special teams last week, brought the ball down to the 1 on a block punt. So I'm going to rock with Tua. I don't know. We may get some good value here. Probably not. Most likely not. Dolphins on the road, that's probably the best value we could get. So the spread probably, drops 1, 2, or 3 points for Dolphins being on the road. We're gonna call this one Dolphins. This may be wild, but I'm gonna go Dolphins -4. This defense, I don't think Drew Lock can score on this defense. The way that this man is just slinging the ball inaccurate. We just watched Drew Lock. We just watched this man. I mean, folks, the ball is not good. This man was making all of the interceptions were 100% bad reads or overthrows. I mean, there weren't tips. They weren't, like one-on-one, 50-50 balls. These were Drew Lock making the mistakes himself, and he threw 4 last week. Cannot trust this Broncos defense. I can't trust the Broncos offense. I do think the Broncos defense is good, especially at home. This defense doesn't really travel well, but this defense at home is actually pretty good. Probably top 10 defense at home. So that may give Tua a little bit of trouble, but we saw what Tua was doing against the Rams defense. I mean, just kind of being a game manager, not really turning the ball over too much. So I like the Dolphins here. We probably get Dolphins -4. May stay away from it. The 4, I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The Dolphins, the defense, the special teams has really helping Tua progress, allowing him to have short fields, the defense, special teams being good in the first quarter, setting the tone for Tua, allowing Tua to get really settled into games. So if that doesn't happen, how does Tua perform? We haven't seen it yet. We haven't. So we may stay away from the spread. I expect it to be Dolphins -4, and that may be a little bit too much. Let's see. I mean, they should win this game. The defense should kind of win this game ourselves, but we still have to play the game, unfortunately. That's why, upsets happen, because you have to play the games, folks. So we'll call this one Dolphins -4, see what we get, and go from there. All right, 2 more games. Jets-Chargers. Jets-Chargers, folks. Do we care? Jets on the road, not going to be good. It's going to be Joe Flacco again. He's not going to have the performance that he had, 2 weeks ago. Yes, the Jets are coming off of a bye, and Adam Gase said they're not tanking. They're not tanking, so expect the Jets to go up and put up 40 points. Oh, they're not tanking? Then they should be able to put up 40 points, right? No, folks, they're trash. They're trash. Nobody thought they were tanking in the first place. I don't know who brought up that quote. I don't know who interviewed that man to get that man to say, no, we're not tanking, because nobody thought that in the first place. So Jets, Chargers looking to get another win. Justin Herbert, I mean, this man can play. Justin Herbert is a great rookie. It's just a play calling for the Chargers I don't love. Anthony Lynn, unfortunately, has to be fired. You're losing close games. That comes down to coaching, situational awareness, not getting your team to close out games. I mean, they have leads in these games, folks. Most of the games they lose, they're good in the first quarter. They're good in the second quarter, but they lose it. They kind of clam up offensively. Everything's, real shallow second half of the game. They're not airing it out like Justin Herbert can do. We've seen it time and time again. The arm is not the problem. I don't think the accuracy is the problem of of Justin Herbert. I honestly think it may be the play calling here. So 2 not great offenses. 1 definitely not great offense in the Jets. 1 not good coaching staff in the Jets. 1 not good defense in the Jets. 1 not good special teams in the Jets. 1 not good road team in the Jets. I mean, folks, everything is pointing to the Chargers here. We probably don't get any value. We're going to call this one, I mean, the good thing for the Chargers is that they only have 2 wins. But honestly, I'm going to go Chargers. Chargers. I'm going to go up to 5. I'm going to go 5. Chargers -5. I mean, folks, it's just team is just atrocious. And Joe Flacco, I mean, he's one and done. This is what he does. He kind of, performs well one game in one sequence in one drive to secure a contract. He did that last week, and they didn't even get the win. They still lost against the Patriots, even though they put up 27 points. We're going to go Chargers -5. Justin Herbert should not have any trouble. Expect this man to throw 3 touchdowns, no picks, 300-plus yards, have a solid game, and now we talk about Rookie of the Year, Justin Herbert, because he performed well against the Jets. I'm not interested in it. We'll call it Chargers -5. And that brings us to the Monday night game. We won't spend too much time on this. We'll talk about this one more on Monday. But Rams-Bucks, just quickly, this is going to be great. But if we're just talking about offensive ceilings, the Bucks offense ceiling is probably 50 points, honestly. They can put up 50 points whenever they want. If they're just, throwing the ball 45 plus times and they're only throwing the ball down the field, they can definitely put up 50 points if they wanted to. Where when we look at the Rams offensive ceiling, it's really 26 points. That's really all they can do. They don't score a lot, folks. Yes, the Rams offense is good and they should be better than what they are, but they really only put up 24 to 25 points a game, if that. I mean, we've seen games where they put up 17. So this Bucks offense at home, Tom Brady just had the best game of the season last week. Expect him to try to carry it over. Yes, the Rams defense is good. Expect, Jalen Ramsey to cover Antonio Brown or probably Mike Evans, but then that still leaves up Chris Godwin and Scott Miller and Antonio Brown. So the Rams, yes, they have one good coverage corner. Yes, they have one good defensive end, but I mean, all these weapons, the run game can definitely keep Aaron Donald at bay, and the pass game, you've got 4 great wide receivers. There's only one lockdown corner in Jalen Ramsey. So we'll predict the line early here at Bucks, probably -4, and we'll go from there. Let's not spend too much time on that. We'll talk about it on Monday. All right, here we go. Let's jump into the actual lines. We use DraftKings if you're listening on the podcast. Now that we do that, we use the DraftKings book. Hang on. Here we go. Oh my God, I thought we weren't going to be able to reach the site. All right, let's go to the NFL and get these lines up to date. Refreshing, these are up to the date lines as of Thursday at 12:51 p.m. Let's get into it. Here we go. We're back at Thursday Night Football tonight. We predicted the lines at Seahawks -2, and it's going to be Seahawks -2.5, so right on target here. And, I like it. I like Seahawks -2.5. I'm going to bet on Russell Wilson. I'm going to bet on Russell Wilson, even though what he's done to us the last 2 weeks, even though we had to drop him from about, number 2 to number 10 in our power rankings, even though that we had to put Russell Wilson on the trash list, I'm still going to buy him. I still trust him any given Sunday most of the time. Usually, teams, were 50-50 on Sundays. I would put Seahawks at probably 60-40. I would give them a 10-point kind of advantage. So Seahawks, I think they cleaned it up. Cardinals coming off a huge emotional win. I'm going to take the Seahawks -2.5. It's not even at that 3 hook. Absolutely fantastic. Russell Wilson primetime Thursday night game. Expect this man to finally clean it up. Expect him to have a good game. Expect him to try to, give the ball to DK Metcalf more, because he was very visually frustrated on the sideline on the field and on the sideline when he was getting locked up by Jalen Ramsey and Russell Wilson was not attempting to get him the ball. So expect DK Metcalf to have a big game, and we're gonna take it. So right on target, we predicted Seahawks -2. It's 2.5, and I like it. That's going to be our moneymaker pick, folks. Seahawks -2.5. We'll do our moneymaker right now. Seahawks -2.5. Straight up, you put 500 on that. You win 935. That's great. While we're here, let's get into my favorite type of bets, points by a team in the first half. We're hitting about 75-80% on these, folks. Truly, we're great at these. So the Cardinals are at 13.5 for the first half, and the Seahawks are at 13.5 for the first half. Very, very tough. You don't take anything over 14.5. 13.5 is the most you ever take in this. You never take anything over 14. That is my rule here. So it's tough. If I have to bet a team, like I said, I'm gonna trust Russell Wilson to get it done this week. So if I don't really love any of these, honestly. I probably wouldn't bet any of these, but just for fun, we are going to endorse Seahawks over 13.5 for the first half, because we're just trusting Russell Wilson tonight. That's it. Alrighty, here we go. So let's go into Sunday's games, and here we go. Steelers Jags. We predicted this line at Steelers minus 13.5, and it's going to be Steelers minus 10. That's fine. We over-predicted a little bit. Oh, well. We still don't like it. It's way too much. Maybe the 10 is a little appealing with the Steelers minus 10. I really don't think Jake Luton is going to they didn't even perform well last week against the Packers, so don't get bogged down by that. Steelers minus 10 is actually decent value. I do like that, actually. I think I'm going to change that. I know I originally said to stay away, but now I'm looking at Steelers minus 10. I kind of like it. So early on, I do like Steelers minus 10. We do have we make our official picks tomorrow. These are just, first look at the lines, first reactions, initial reactions, everything like that. So we do our official picks tomorrow, but early on, I think I like Steelers minus 10. This defense definitely can get it done. And Big Ben, he's really, even though, he hasn't been, opening it up down the field, he's dinking and dunking his way to 9-0 and looking good and not a lot of turnovers and very good positive plays. So they're doing very well in Pittsburgh. The offense is rolling. The defense is rolling. Everybody's buying in. They're 9-0. This Jags team is a dumpster fire, unfortunately. Jake Luton is just not good. Unfortunate. But he's a rookie, so we give him time. We're not shitting on him, but this season, right now, this game, he's not going to be able to get it done. Unfortunate. Alrighty, so here we go. Let's move on. Falcons and Saints, and we predicted this line at Saints minus 2, and it's going to be Saints minus 4.5, and this is where I think we get the good value. Falcons plus 4.5. Division games are close. Games are close. Division games are closer, folks. This is a division game. Falcons offense coming off of a bye. I'm getting 4.5. I do like Jameis Winston, but what we saw from him in a Saints uniform was absolutely not good. Yes, he's going to have all those reps with the ones this week, but I'm getting the Falcons plus 4.5. Folks, games are close. Division games are closer. This Falcons offense is one of the best offenses in the league. Folks, we've talked about it. Matt Ryan is the leading passer in the NFL through week 10. He didn't play last week, so obviously he's going to go down. But up until when he was playing every game, he was the number 1 wide receiver, and Todd Gurley was the 5th leading rusher heading into week 10 on their bye. So what are we talking about? This offense is good. Calvin Ridley, I think, we looked at a stat. He had the most 15-plus yard receptions in the league. And they still have Julio Jones, so this offense can work. We're getting plus 4. The Saints are going from Drew Brees to Jameis Winston. Expect them to play ultra conservative offense. Falcons plus 4 here. This is early, but I love it. I love it. I love it. This is early favorites for a lock here. Falcons plus 4. This is exactly what I wanted Vegas to do, giving us great value in this Falcons team. Do not get bogged down by this Falcons record, folks. Don't. Their offense is good. Falcons plus 4.5. I think I love it. Alrighty, let's move on. Titans and Ravens, and we predicted this line at let me find it. Texans, Ravens. We put it at Ravens minus 3. Wow, and it's going to be Ravens minus... Oh, once again, great value. Titans plus 6. Extra week of rest, and they were still competitive against that Colts team. It was the special teams, folks. It was the special teams that ruined it for them. The Ravens really cannot put up a lot of points. They can't really stretch the field offensively. The Titans, they just had their kind of best defensive performance 2 weeks ago. Last week, defense a little bit of breaking, just a little bit, but it was because it was all set up by the special teams. It's hard to cover, only 30 yards, sudden change. So I think once again, we get great value here. Yes, the Ravens are good, but Lamar Jackson in this offense, it's kind of predictable. It's predictable and it's not explosive. This Titans team, they're methodical. They run the ball. Ryan Tannehill's been good. This defense is actually very solid. This is another early favorite for a lock, folks. I get Titans plus 6. Absolutely, folks. Love it. Oh my God, I love it. Falcons plus 4.5. Titans plus 6. Folks, we're getting great value early this week. Man, I love these picks so far. Let's keep it going. Let's get some more value. Here we go. Eagles, Browns. Hang on. Eagles, Browns. We officially predicted this game at Browns minus 5, and it's going to be Browns minus 3. Once again, great value. Great value. I love the Browns minus 3 here. We only have to swallow 3. Eagles cannot get it done. I expect this offense to really, really work. The Giants offense worked against the Eagles. The Browns offense can definitely work with the Eagles. We get a genius. It worked because... last week, the Giants were able to score because they had a genius kind of play caller in Jason Garrett, getting Daniel Jones into great situations. Now this week, Kevin Stefanski, once again, a genius play caller for Baker Mayfield, tailoring the game to them. They were in a monsoon. They ran the ball a lot. It worked. They win. They won by 3 against the Texans, and the Texans have a better offense than the Eagles do. Browns are at home for a second straight week. That's huge. Eagles on the road for a second straight week. That's killer for them. Browns -3. We only have to swallow 3. I think the Browns win. Cannot trust Carson Wentz. He's just not good. When he doesn't throw any touchdowns, he throws no picks. When he throws one touchdown, he'll have 2 picks. I mean, folks, this man's just not reliable. When he throws no touchdowns, he has 2 picks as well. So it's real hit and miss. We only have to swallow 3 for the Browns. I think that's fine, folks. I think that's fine. Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and then that's just going to open Baker Mayfield to Jarvis Landry down the field. Just going to open it up. Love that early. Damn, we're getting some great early value here, folks. I loved it last week. I think I like this week even more. All right, here we go. Bengals in Washington, and we officially predicted this line at Washington -3, and it's going to be Washington -1.5. That's fine. I stay away from this game. It's just trash on trash. I'm not gonna go with trash. When I have 2 trash options, I'm not gonna just pick who's the better trash, who's the more Febreze trash. I'm not gonna pick it. I don't even know what to talk about. I mean, Bengals, Joe Burrow can throw the ball, but they don't put up a lot of points, and they don't do that against good teams. Yes, he still throws the ball a lot against good teams, but they don't put up points. We just saw it against the Ravens, and we saw it against the Steelers. It really kind of confirmed that the Bengals are not a good team last week against the Steelers, not being competitive in a division game. That's huge, folks. What game are you going to get prepared for if you're not going to get prepared for a team that you face twice and that you have a history with, that you are going to spend your entire career going against? I mean, folks, what game are you going to get up for? So just 2 bad teams. Washington, they're not good in the first half. Alex Smith, we want him to be good, but we all like that he overcame that injury, but let's not act like that man was fantastic before the injury. He wasn't a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He was a productive quarterback, a game manager, probably above average game manager, maybe like a Ryan Tannehill kind of level, but he wasn't anything special. So let's kind of relax on Alex Smith a little bit. Just 2 bad teams going at it. Doesn't interest me. We'll try to look for a prop bet maybe in this game tomorrow, but I'm staying away from the main game. Alrighty, continuing on. Patriots and Texans, and we predicted this line at... Let me find it. Patriots -1, and it's going to be Patriots -2. I think this is great value as well. Texans at home. The offense is good. The defense definitely needs a little bit of work, but we can't trust Cam Newton's offense anyway. I mean, Cam Newton, he can't throw the ball down the field. He's inaccurate when he does. He's kind of inaccurate on the short throws. The ball coming out of his hands when he throws the slant or just the comeback routes, it literally disgusts me. I'm just like, how are these even being completed? It's looking awful. So I don't like the Patriots offense. I don't like Cam Newton, unfortunately. We are going to have to bail on him. Yes, they beat the Ravens last week. Is that supposed to be impressive? It was a monsoon. It was a monsoon. Texans here. I think we get some good value. We get 2 points for them here. I like it at home. I like their offense. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I may stay away from it. Very tough. It's Bill Belichick defense, folks. I mean, we have to respect it. We still have to respect Bill Belichick, even though they only have 4 wins and Tom Brady left, and Tom Brady's having a little bit more success, but he's got the better team overall, blah, blah, blah. But we still have to respect. I mean, folks, you don't go 20-plus years in a dynasty, with not a good head coach. I mean, it's just not how it goes. Yes, you can have the best players in the world, but you need a good coach to get them there. We see what's going on with the Cowboys. They have great talent everywhere. Not a good coach. They've got 2 wins thus far. So coaching definitely matters. To be productive for 20-plus years in this league, coaching matters. Let's give him credit. So we probably stay away from this game. It's going to be close. I don't like anything here. Texans +2, I think I'm a little bit more in favor of, but it's only 2 points. Not a lot of cushion if they don't win. All right, let's move it on. Lions and Panthers, and we predicted this line at Panthers -4, and it's going to be Panthers -1.5. Woo! Oh, okay. I think I like the Panthers here. Teddy Bridgewater should be good to go. The offense is still what the offense has been all season. They haven't had Christian McCaffrey all season. They've had him week 1 and 2 weeks ago for 1 game. So they're still getting production out of their wide receivers. Teddy Bridgewater is going on long drives. They're really eating up the games. Kind of a lower scoring game, but they're methodical, 5-6 minute drives that cap off in, field goals and touchdowns. They do have to settle for field goals sometimes, unfortunate. But Matt Rule's doing great. Great game plans. Teddy Bridgewater is being accurate. He's got a great completion percentage. Doesn't turn the ball over too much. And they just keep drives alive. I think they're the leading third down conversion offense in the league. They keep the drives alive, and that's great. Detroit cannot play besides the first quarter. They kind of fizzle out a little bit, and we only have to swallow 1.5. That's basically just picking the winner here, folks. And I think that the Panthers here to bounce back. They've dropped 5 straight games. Expect them to bounce back here even without Christian McCaffrey. They've been doing decently offensive. What's up with these 3-win teams that are just good offense? I mean, I kind of buy the Panthers offense a little bit. I do like the Falcons offense. I love the Texans offense. I like the Giants offense, but they all just only have like 3 or less wins. Not great. So I think I'm big early on the Panthers. -1.5. I think I like it. Plus, Matt Stafford's a little injured, probably not taking as many shots as he likes to do, as he can do. The man can throw. The man can sling the ball, no doubt. But yeah, thumb injury, maybe plays a little bit conservative. Gets tweaks the thumb wrong. Defensive end for Carolina comes in. Smacks the ball out of his hand, smacks his hand one time. He's out for the rest of the game. Panthers, we'll take the 1.5. I think I like that early. Alrighty, here we go. Broncos and Dolphins. We predicted this line at Dolphins -4, and it's going to be Dolphins -3.5, right on target. So we're pretty much thinking exactly what Vegas is thinking. That's fine. I think I'm fine with taking the Dolphins -3.5. I really am. The only thing that is giving me a little bit of question is if the Dolphins defense or special teams doesn't allow short fields for Tua in the first half, is he going to be able to carry the team? Now, I think he can, but we haven't seen it yet, so we can't really say for sure. And this Broncos defense at home is pretty good. It's above average defense when it's at home. So everything may line up for the Broncos here, but they still, at the end of the day, have Drew Lock at quarterback, and we still have the Dolphins defense. So I think it's fine. Dolphins, -3.5. Games are appearing a little bit closer on the scoreboard than what they actually are if you watch it. I mean, that Rams team was getting absolutely destroyed, and then they kind of caught momentum, caught some magic off the turnover fumble by the center. So, that's just how it is. I mean, we looked at it in our film study yesterday. So I've got no problems with Dolphins -3. I don't like the Broncos +3.5. I cannot trust Drew Lock, folks. We just can't. 4 interceptions, all his fault last week. I mean, not even really. I mean, they scored 6 points up until the fourth quarter, and then in the fourth quarter, we know that's when Drew Lock just likes to throw so many touchdowns, even though it doesn't matter. It's garbage time. So Dolphins -3.5. I've got no problem with it. We've beat the Rams. We've beat who did we just beat? We just beat the Cardinals. I mean, folks, we're beating decent teams here. This Broncos team is not a decent team. We only have to swallow 3.5. I can get behind it. Alrighty, Jets and Chargers. We predicted the line at Chargers -5, and it's going to be Chargers. Oh, wow, even more. Chargers -8.5, and I think I may flip it around. I think I like the Jets +8.5. I mean, folks, at the end of the day, this is an NFL team, and these are grown men. Do you think grown men want to go 0-16? Come on, that's disgraceful, truthfully. Like, professional, just on the street. If I saw a Jets player go 0-16 on the street, I would make fun of him, even though I'd never played professional football. I would still make, bro, you went 0-16. Shit. Put me on an NFL roster. I would motivate my team not to go 0-16. I think I can do that. So these are grown men we're talking about. Adam Gase, I mean, he's not calling the plays anymore. They had success. They put up 27 points with Joe Flacco with the new play caller, getting the play caller acquainted. Yes, he wasn't doing good his kind of first 2 times of calling plays, but you have to get into a rhythm, seeing what works in real game time situations. So everything takes process. Everything takes time. Nobody can just turn it on for one game. It's kind of, that doesn't really happen in this league. So the play caller for the Jets is getting a little bit better. Jets +8.5. I mean, this Chargers team, they're always in close games, even against bad teams. They're a bad team. The Chargers are a bad team. Shoot. What are we talking about here? So Jets +8.5. I think I like it. They have been keeping the games a little bit closer. Haven't really been blown out too many times. I mean, yes, they've been blown out. We've seen it, but not too many times. Not every single week. Folks, these are NFL teams. Nobody gets blown out every single week. Nobody goes 0-16. That's why it's only happened. Has it happened twice? I know it's definitely happened once with the Lions. May have happened one other time. or close. I know the Dolphins went 1-15, but we got to win. So I think I'm liking the Jets plus 8.5 early on. I think I like it. I mean, folks, these teams are not good. Chargers are not good. They blow leads. They blow games. Jets coming off of a bye. Plus I get 8.5. I might call it now. Do I call a lock now? No, I wouldn't even put that in. I'd put that in a 99% guarantee if I was going to put that in anything. Alrighty, let's move on. Packers and Colts. We predicted the line at Colts -2. Yes, it is Colts minus. Bro, right on the money. And we get Packers -2. Love it. Take it. Hammer it. Packers -2. This is a lock, folks. I'm taking Aaron Rodgers over Phillip Rivers. I'm taking the Packers offense over the Colts offense. I'm taking the Packers defense over the Colts defense. I'm taking Aaron mother-loving Rodgers, baby. 7-2 record. Wanting to get that first seed in the NFC. We cannot trust Phillip Rivers. He's a lazy quarterback who doesn't care about winning. This Colts, they don't have too many weapons offensively. Expect this, I love this Packers team, folks. I love Aaron Rodgers. Spreading the ball around. No turnovers. I love to see it. They won close last week. That's huge. That's a plus. That's not a negative. Do not take the Packers winning by only 4 points against the Jags last week at home as a negative, folks. That's a positive. Learning to win through adversity. What have their 2 losses been? Aaron Rodgers throwing pick sixes and interceptions in the second quarter and then fading for the rest of the game, not overcoming the adversity. Where did their second loss come from? Scoring 2 straight touchdowns. They only had 2 possessions in the first half against the Vikings, and then in the fourth quarter, they couldn't pick up the third downs, couldn't pick up the fourth downs. They got kind of eager with the passing game. They could not overcome the adversity of not scoring in the second half, and they lose the game. They overcame adversity multiple times last week. The fumble, the muff punts, the fumbles, the interceptions, folks. This is great for the Packers. Great news last week. That is a plus. Packers +2. Absolutely love it. Not trusting the Colts in the big game against a good team. Do not buy Phillip Rivers whatsoever. Packers +2. Love it. Love it. Alrighty, moving on. Here we go. Cowboys, Vikings. We predicted this line at Vikings -4.5. Oh, best bet. Ding, 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 ding. Best bet of the week. Cowboys +7 coming off of a bye. Must win game for Mike McCarthy. Andy Dalton back, starting quarterback. Vikings off a short week. Folks, what are we doing here? Cowboys +7. What? Vegas, are you out of your minds? Whoa, this Vikings team is not that great. Not that great. Not that great. Wow. Wow, Cowboys +7. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Cowboys folks, Vikings coming off of a short week. Dalvin Cook, they're still running the ball, so expect a lesser scoring game like we just saw on Monday night. That was a lower scoring game. Cowboys, this is a must win. They're still in it for the division. We're getting 7. They may not win. Who cares? They lose by 3. They lose by 6. We don't care. We get 7. Cowboys +7. Oh boy. Yes, this is a lock. This is the best bet of the week. There it is. Cowboys +7. We found it. We found the best bet of the week, folks. Damn. We got some great value already, and we still got games to go. It's going to be a great week, folks. All right, 2 more games left this week. Here we go. Let's get into it. Damn, best bet of the week. Cowboys +7. Love it. All right, here we go. Chiefs, Raiders. We predicted this line at Raiders -1. Raiders +8. Raiders +8. Raiders +8. I think once again, ding, ding, ding. Best bet of the week again. I do like the Cowboys +7 better than the Raiders +8. This isn't the best bet of the week, but Raiders +8 at home. The offense is working. They're winning multiple ways, through the ground, through the air. John Gruden's defense is good. They just held Drew Lock to 4 picks, making them look trash. Patrick Mahomes, they lost their first meeting. Yes, Patrick Mahomes is going to be good. Yes, he's coming off of a bye, but we get 8 on a home team division game. Once again, folks, 8 is too much. Games are close. Division games are closer. Raiders are the home team. Let's stop disrespecting some of these teams. This Raiders team is kind of a underdog, a dark horse to make the playoffs in the AFC. They have 6 wins. They've been winning games. I get 8 here. I think I like it. Yes, the Chiefs are coming off a bye. That's the green flag about them. But they have to go on the road. Raiders +8, primetime game. competitive. John Gruden knows he's going to be on television. He worked for ESPN. He worked television. He worked the Monday night games. He's worked the primetime games. Raiders at home, +8 division game. Come on. Let's start respecting this Raiders team a little bit more. Let's start, giving John Gruden his dues a little bit. Come on. One year turnaround a team. A Raiders franchise that's been garbage for the entire history of itself. Come on. One season. That's all it took. One season turnaround for John Gruden. Folks, you can't get any quicker than that. Come on. Raiders +8. Damn, that's good. I'm liking that, folks. I'm liking it a lot. All right, last one. Rams, Bucks, Monday Night Football. We put it at Bucks -4. Bucks -4 right on the money, folks. I like the Rams +4, just kind of early. Better defense. Maybe shuts down Tom Brady a little bit. We'll talk about this one a little bit more in depth on Monday. Also, kind of seeing how this week played out. Are we 100% right, or should we kind of switch our thinking for this Monday night game? So early, I do think I don't like the Rams +4. I don't like the Rams +4. I don't know. They just can't put up points, folks. Yes, their defense is good, but this Bucs offense, they've got weapons everywhere. Alrighty, so we got some great value here, folks. Early. First looks. I love the Cowboys +7. I love the Raiders +8. I like the Jets +8.5. I do like that. I like it. I like the Packers +2 on the road. I like the Dolphins -3.5. Browns -3 I think is a great bet. Titans +6 is all right. I probably don't take it. I do like it though. Falcons +4.5 I like again. Cardinals or Seahawks -2.5. That's the moneymaker tonight. I do like that as well. We got some great value this week, folks. Damn. Some good games that I think you can definitely take advantage of. Like this Cowboys game, this Packers, Cowboys, Raiders games, I think you're getting the best value. Truthfully. Take the points in all those cases. Packers +2, Cowboys +7, Raiders +8. Oh my God, what are we doing here? I'm ready to beat Vegas again this week, folks. We did it last week. We're going to do it again this week. All right, our official picks come out tomorrow. We're going to sleep on these lines, think about them a little bit more. We'll come at you tomorrow with our picks. Follow me on Twitter at TakesByFans. TakesByFans everywhere. Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Patreon. We have a Patreon. Come support the show. $5 a month. I mean, who doesn't want to pay $5 a month? If you're watching me, come on. You want free content? You want free content in this world? Come on. What are you, nuts? So, yeah, Patreon, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, podcasting apps everywhere. Anchor, Spotify. We're on there now. So however you find us, we're Takes by Fans, baby. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for watching. We will be back tomorrow with our